Hey guys, welcome back. Today's video is going to be testing out some new makeup from Ulta and Sephora, and I have so many fun new things to share with you. And as you can see, I'm filming from my family room today. My son is actually finished with school, so he's still kind of little, and I don't want to just like go upstairs and shut the door and film a video and kind of leave him alone. So if I don't film down here for the rest of the summer, I'm gonna kind of have to figure out times, I guess, when I can do that upstairs, either on the weekend or maybe in the evenings, we'll see. But if you guys like this, like in the natural light, and I'm sitting in front of these really big windows, so I don't have the studio lights in front of me. So if you guys like this better, let me know that as well. So let's jump right in and start with the product that I got first from Ulta, and that is the Lorac Unzipped Amore palette. So I was so beyond excited when I saw that Lorac had released a new unzipped palette, because the original is one of my like top 10 favorite palettes of all time. I still use that one so much to this day, and I got it years and years ago. I've actually repurchased it since my original one just because I love it so much. The new one, it was really hard to tell because Lorac's photos on their Instagram page showed more of like a berry tone palette, and then the ones at Ulta looked very, very brown. So as it turns out, it's sort of a combination of both of those things. You do have some berry and rosy tones in this palette, but you also have some really warm tone browns. You have kind of like a coppery color right here. And in this palette, you have an exact even mix of 5 shimmer shades, 5 matte shades. But I will say the shimmers in this palette are very different from the original unzipped palettes. I felt like those had shimmers that were just really like super, super smooth, not glittery. These are very glittery for the most part. And I don't mean like chunky glitter, but they have those little micro glitters in them. So they just give off a very different finish than the original unzipped palettes. And the shimmer shades are probably my favorite part of the originals, just because they were so smooth yet like very metallic on the eyes. They really like made your eyes look shiny and almost like gave a wet look, but without all the glitter. So this is definitely a little bit different, and I think if you love those shimmer shades in the old palettes like I do, you might be a little bit let down by this palette. I feel like those types of shimmers are getting harder and harder to find. Everybody is doing glitter now. I don't know if it's cheaper to just add little bits of glitter into formulas rather than formulate those really buttery rich shades that I feel like a lot of palettes used to have, or if it's just because glitter is more of like a trend. But I was a little bit let down by that. But other than that, I thought the matte shades blended themselves practically. I hardly had to spend any time blending. So let me just show you some swatches of the palette really quick so you can see what it looks like. There are definitely some shimmers that are more metallic and glittery than others, but I feel like most of them have that glitter to them. And the matte shades are just very, very smooth, very easy to work with, and I think they are nicely pigmented as well. So let me just show it next to the original unzipped palette just so you can kind of compare the two together. The packaging looks almost identical, except the original one has like a yellow background, and it's also all rosy tones. You have the rosy browns and the rose gold, and it's just absolutely one of my favorite palettes. And let me just show you swatches of the original one so that you can see kind of the difference with the shimmer shades. I just feel like they're really shiny but without being glittery, and they make such an incredible impact on your eyes. So this one is also still available for purchase. If you like this one better, I highly recommend it. Like I said, it is one of my favorite palettes of all time. So I'll show you quickly a look that I did with the Amore palette. It's the look that I'm wearing in the video today, so you can see kind of how it applies and all that. So I started out with the shade Unfaltering, which is kind of like a light to medium rosy brown matte, and I just applied this to my crease using my Refer number 15 brush. This is a nice crease brush because it's not too large, so it works well for hooded eyes, but it's also large enough that it really helps to diffuse the color. Next, on my finger, I picked up the shade Unique, which is kind of like a deep, sparkly purple. It's more of a rosy purple though, with some sparkle and some glitter in it. It's not like a bright or a deep purple. It's actually a really beautiful color for the lid, and I applied this from the outer corner to about 3/4 of the way in. And then I grabbed the shade Unabiding, which is a really light metallic rose gold. This one also has a bit of glitter to it, and I applied this one just to the inner corner of my eye and kind of blended it back towards the other one. So overall, I'm happy that I bought this because I do enjoy Lorac's formula. I just don't love it quite as much as this one. So for me, it was like a tiny little bit of a letdown, but I still think it's a good palette with a good formula. And then for mascara today, I'm wearing the Chanel Le Volume de Chanel, and I got this at Ulta as well. I was just browsing the site and I happened to see that this had amazing reviews. Everybody said it was like the best mascara they ever used, so I figured I might as well give it a try. I'm normally a drugstore mascara girl because I feel like they work pretty much just as well as any high-end formula I've ever tried, but I've never tried a Chanel mascara, so I wanted to see what it was all about. And this one, I mean, love the packaging. It's really sleek and beautiful, and the wand inside has these really tiny, short little bristles, but I found that those were great at gripping my lashes, and this deposits a ton of color all at once. When you go to use it, you really don't have to apply that many coats. It really builds itself up easily and quickly. It's more of a wet formula, but yet I didn't find that it was clumping up or making my lashes look goopy or messy. So I felt like it was very easy to apply, and at the same time gave me incredible length and volume. It made my lashes look huge, like falsies. So I think the reviews definitely were onto something. So I was excited about that for sure. I think for the price that it is, it definitely should do something. Also, I felt like this held up incredibly well. It didn't smudge, it didn't flake. It was such a long-lasting formula, and that is super important to me, especially heading into the summertime when it's humid. I want to make sure that if I go out somewhere, my mascara is not running all underneath my eyes and giving me the raccoon eyes. So I actually really like this one. I would say it's definitely worth the higher price tag. Next up, I was super excited to try the new Soft Sculpt Skin Enhancing Balm from Makeup by Mario. I got the light shade, and when I first saw this, I was a little bit confused because it didn't seem to have a very big shade range, but then as I read the description, it actually says that this is supposed to be a skin tint slash bronzer in one. So I don't think it's supposed to actually match your skin tone like a foundation, but more give your skin a little bit of warmth like a bronzer would be, basically like a cream bronzer. But when I saw a video of him using it, what he did was kind of apply it all the way to like the perimeter of the face and then take the extra and just blend that into the middle. So you are kind of putting it all over your face, but you're concentrating the product on the outer edges just to kind of contour a little bit and bronze things up. Because this is a super sheer product, and I assumed it would be, I decided to apply concealer first just to the areas that I would need it, just so that I would feel like when I use the skin balm, I wouldn't need to do anything else after that. So I grabbed my Catrice True Skin Concealer. I have it in the shade Cool Cashmere, and I just went ahead and applied a little bit underneath my eyes where I have any kind of darkness peeking through that I felt like the skin tint wouldn't cover. And I just used my Lawless concealer brush to blend that in. I also put a stripe down my nose because my nose is always red, so I wanted to just kind of hide that a little bit, and I blended that around the sides of my nose as well. But that's pretty much all I did as far as the concealer. And then I grabbed my BK Beauty 101 foundation brush. It's kind of like a slanted foundation brush. It's really awesome, and I just swirled it around in the product, and I started with my forehead. I just went around kind of the perimeter of my forehead by my hairline and just started to brush it down towards the center of my forehead. And I have to say, this is more sheer than other cream bronzers that I've tried, so I really like the ease of use of it. I think even if I were just to use foundation all over my face and then apply this as a cream bronzer on top, just here and there in the certain areas, I think it would be phenomenal just for that alone. But I did feel like it gave me a tiny little bit of coverage while at the same time just warming up my skin, kind of giving it that bronze sun-kissed look. So I love that, and I feel like this light shade is a good color too. It's not cool toned, but it's also not overly warm and orangey. I think it's just like the perfect slightly warm color just to kind of bronze up your complexion and just add a little bit of warmth to it, but not anything overboard. And I really thought my skin looked great after this. So let me show you guys just a quick close-up that I took with my cell phone, just sitting in the same spot here, but you can see, I think, just a little bit better and a little sharper what this looks like sitting on my skin. And I think it looks beautiful. It doesn't have shimmer in it, but it has a little bit of glowiness where it doesn't look flat or matte. And I feel like a lot of cream bronzers can sometimes look muddy on your skin. And because this one is so sheer and it gives that little hint of glow, it just makes your skin look luminous and beautiful. So I am honestly loving this product. I feel like I would use it like I did today, just with a little concealer and then put the rest all over my face. Or I would also use it as a cream bronzer if I wanted more coverage, and I would use it over foundation. So I feel like you could do a lot with this. And I think it's the nicest cream bronzer I have tried. It's also not sticky, so it's not gonna like pull up your foundation underneath. It just blends so seamlessly and dries right to that powdery finish that I love. So I am very, very impressed with this so far. Really enjoy it. Even though I was initially confused, I could see myself reaching for this almost every day. It's so good. Next, I also have a new blush from Laura Mercier. I did show this in my Sunday haul a couple days ago, and this is her blush color infusion in the shade All That Sparkles. So she has a couple of new shades of her blush that have a little bit of luminosity to them, but again, it's not super glittery or sparkly. So you guys know I love the Natasha Denona Bloom blush. That one is kind of intense, but I really like that. It's sort of like a blush and highlighter in one. This, I wouldn't say goes quite that far. It leaves a little bit of a sheen to your cheeks. Like as you can see, it's just like a slight glow. It's very subtle, but absolutely stunning. And this color is like the most perfect peachy pink, like universal shade. It's super pigmented too. When I first started putting this on, I was like, whoa, because I just barely tapped my brush into it and I got so much color. So then when I went to do the other cheek, I actually used what was still on the brush. I didn't dip it back in, and you can see like it's still giving me a ton of color even on my other cheek. So just go easy with this one because it is very, very pigmented, but I just love the color. I think it's so beautiful. And in general, I love her blushes. I definitely want to grab some more of them because I think the formula is really beautiful and the colors that they come in are gorgeous as well. And then last but not least, I got a new lip gloss from Kaja. This is the Gloss Shot, and I got it in the shade number 4, Pink Drink. So I've really enjoyed Kaja's products, and when I saw this, I decided to test it out. It's supposed to be a very, very hydrating formula, and it absolutely is. I was really, really impressed by this. It has a really delicious vanilla cookie kind of a scent to it, so it smells really good. It's not like tingly, it's not like a lip plumping gloss, but I feel like it makes my lips look so super smooth. In a way, it reminds me of the Maybelline Lifter glosses. It has that same kind of really super hydrating, smoothing kind of feel. And it's a little bit on the thicker side too. So it really like grips onto your lips and stays for a while. And even once the shine wears away, it still leaves your lips feeling hydrated like a tinted balm. So this is a beautiful gloss, but if you have the Maybelline Lifter glosses, I don't feel like it's necessary to spend the extra money for this one, unless of course you like some of the colors that this one comes in. But I do think they are really, really similar, and I enjoyed this gloss a lot. The Maybelline Lifter glosses are one of my favorites, so I was very happy to see that it was kind of a similar type of vibe. I've been wearing this one for like an hour now, and I still feel like the shine is there a little bit, but my lips just feel so smooth, and it just has this really soft, plush, cushiony feel. So I definitely think this is an awesome lip gloss formula. So anyway, guys, that's all I have. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. And also, I'd love to hear your thoughts on any of these products down below. Have you tried them out yet? Are you thinking about it? I always love chatting with you in the comments and hearing your thoughts. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. As always, I appreciate it so much. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go. And I will see you all in my next video. Take care, guys. Bye.